As promised, here we are back again. WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 31.
WrestleMania has just finished. We've just finished watching it, rather, because we were a little late due to food issues. But other than that, here is our first our reaction to the overall pay-per-view. And then we'll delve
into every match.
And give you reactions from us and whether we loved it or whether we absolutely want to kill Vince McMahon and Triple H for booking this to hell.
As you can see, we're not really fond of it right now. So, as an overall out of 10, Ethan, if you want to give your number.
My number is a 5.5. Although I will say that the set looked good. I love the arena that they held it outside Levi Stadium. Looks awesome on TV. And they had a guy do an a cappella version of America the Beautiful. So, props to the rapper singer Aloe, whatever his name is.
Aloe Black.
Thank you, Aloe Black.
Yes.
My ranking is a 5.5.
5.5 out of 10.
Due to matches, their results, and promo work. Actually, with promo work, I'll bump it up to a 6.
My rating is also 6 out of 10. Certain matches, key matches, could have gone better. Certain matches that weren't key matches were way better than the main event matches that you can say. Certain results were not in best for business.
Well, the person who won might tell you differently.
Yeah, well, the person that won will tell me differently. All the fans that were there, though, will tell me the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to start delving into why we both gave it a 6 out of 10. Now, granted, we did a prediction episode before this. We did a prediction episode where we predicted a battle royal, and this was before we found out.
And the Fatal 4-Way.
And the Fatal 4-Way tag match. This is before we found out that the battle royal was being put on the kickoff show. As
I mentioned on the last video, I wrote an update that the tag match and the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal are both in pre-show.
Yes.
However,
due to time constraints,
we didn't get a
chance to see the kickoff show, so we're going straight into the actual pay-per-view itself.
However, after we see the pre-show, we will shoot a follow-up review.
We'll shoot a quick follow-up on those two matches, saying if they were worthy of WrestleMania 31, should they have been put on the card, or should they have been
stayed where they were,
which is kickoff show.
Yes.
But enough about that. Let's talk about
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 31, the show of all shows.
The showcase of the Immortals.
The biggest stage of wrestling and the biggest stage of them all.
Where athletes become legends.
Yes.
Legends become heroes. Heroes become icons. And icons become immortalized.
Yes. This definitely did not define
it. Did not live up to all that hype.
No. We're going to start with the bottom of the card and work our way to the last match, because the last match is the one we're going to rant about a lot.
Well, why don't we go through the card as it normally progressed?
Yes, exactly. So we're going to start with the Intercontinental Championship ladder match.
The 7-man IC title ladder match.
Yes. Now, the champion going in was Wade Barrett.
Yes.
The challengers were as follows: Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, R-Truth, Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, and who's the last one? Stardust, right. I always forget Stardust. God damn it. Sorry, Stardust. I always forget you.
Well, to be fair, he looked like something from Kiss, out of Kiss, fresh out of Kiss.
And to also be fair, he was kind of taken out very early. We didn't really see him around the end.
Let me just say, the man had a bejeweled ladder. They actually decided to take the side of a ladder and bejewel the entire side of it. Although I will say this is something I haven't seen before in WWE. They broke a rung off of said ladder, and they used the rung as a weapon
to attack other people.
Yes, that I have not seen before.
That was a first.
First for us.
Other than that, It was a very typical ladder match. I did enjoy it, though.
It had your good high spots.
It was a very enjoyable ladder match, and it just kind of proves my theory of Money in the Bank should really just be kept at WrestleMania.
Well, that's what we both thought. We were
And
both
stuff
like,
that.
what the hell are
And
they doing?
This match really proved of there should be a Money in the Bank match at every WrestleMania.
There should be.
Screw this whole pay-per-view Money in the Bank bullshit. All right, it should definitely be a thing at WrestleMania. That's where it started. That's where it should stay. That's my opinion, though. Some people disagree.
It's a good opinion. I agree with your opinion.
The match itself was awesome. It was fun. It was very fun to watch. We got into it a lot, actually. It was really fun.
We did.
There was some high moments. There was some moments where we saw before, like one moment, and to this entire thing, spoiler alert, if you haven't figured it out by now.
I will be typing on the bottom in huge capital letters.
Huge capital letters.
Spoiler
A whole lot of like.
If you have
symbols.
not watched WrestleMania, do not watch this video.
Exactly. So the winner.
And if you watch this video, be prepared to be spoiled, like really spoiled. Because we'll talk.
I'm gonna tell you the winner right now. The winner of that match and new Intercontinental Champion is Daniel Bryan.
Both of us.
Both said that Daniel Bryan would win. If you don't believe us, you can go watch last episode.
Yes, go watch part 1 of last episode.
Wasn't it part 2?
Part 2, yes. Part 2, because part 1 was about Lesnar. Yes. Go watch part 2.
Yeah, we both predicted that Daniel Bryan would win.
So we are both 1-1.
Yes, we're both 1-1. So the match was good. We saw a lot of usual stuff. Like there was a part where Dean Ambrose was power bombed out of the ring, straight through a ladder.
Well, the problem
we have seen that plenty of times. We've seen people go through ladders like they're tables. The problem was he took a really bad fall.
Okay, so I'm going to assume, since you're watching this video, that you know exactly what we're talking about. And usually that makes an ass out of you and me, but whatever. Alright, so the ladder's like this, right? He comes up off like this. His shoulder lands here. His neck lands front on the ground, and he jacks it. So
it almost looked like his neck hit the ladder.
Yeah, that
hurt like hell.
That
pretty much took him out of the match.
That cannot have been good.
And stuff like that. That took him out of the match. But the match overall was enjoyable. It was watchable, and it was definitely fun. It definitely lived up to a very good Intercontinental match.
All right, Mr. Mercado, where would you rank that ladder match? 1 to 10.
1 to 10. I'd have to give that an 8.5.
I would say 7.
You say it's 7.
Because, like you said, we've seen a lot of the same stuff before. Yes, it was a good ladder match. But, I want to see some innovation. Like, for example, Money in the Bank. I don't know.
Yes. One thing I will
Money in the Bank, WrestleMania 25.
About this match, it lacked creativity. Except for that bedazzled ladder. That's the only thing that was creative.
Like WrestleMania 25. 25, where they built this whole, structure. They built, a ladder, and then they have a ladder going in, and then they had a ladder going up, and then Shelton Benjamin scaled the thing like he was a cat. So.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, that was good shit. That was good times.
Yeah, so I would go solid 7. You say 8.5.
I'll say 8.5.
All right. The next match on the card wasn't
it Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins?
It was Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins.
Yes. That was our pick to be
the quote-unquote Shawn Michaels match.
The show stealer of the night.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, I invite you to watch any of Shawn Michaels matches at WrestleMania.
Go watch Shawn Michaels. In particular,
WrestleMania 12.
WrestleMania 12. WrestleMania 21.
I'd say 10 as well.
10 as well. 10, 12, 21, 25.
26.
26, his retirement match.
And that's it.
And that's about it. But those have generally been show-stealing matches from the showstopper himself.
Yes.
And he does it great. He always picks good opponents that will always do it. And will always get the job done.
Yep.
And so another man who's actually in the match is Randy Orton. Randy Orton's also done matches where he's stolen the show.
I would invite you. I'm sorry. I would invite you to watch WrestleMania 20.
20 as well.
20 is a very good triple threat. Yes. Randy Orton has also.
Been show stealing.
Yes.
His match with CM Punk was amazing.
Yes. His match with The Undertaker at 21. Amazing.
Great match. His match.
Triple threat match, 22. World heavyweight title. That was okay.
That was okay.
That was okay.
That was definitely an okay match. His match with Triple H at 25.
Yes. Good match.
Very, very good, solid match right there.
Solid match.
And stuff like that. And the list goes on for him.
Yes.
And stuff like that. He's had very good, solid matches that have been show stealing at WrestleMania. So this one was our take for show stealer this time.
Yes.
The winner of this match was Randy Orton,
which we both picked again. So now we're 2-2.
The way he did it though was amazing. Set up perfectly. The final moments of the match, it was pretty much reversals here and there. Randy Orton sets up for an RKO, gets reversed, gets knocked down. Rollins is going for a curb stomp. He hits it, gets the 2 count stuff. Then a couple other moves happen. Then we go for it again. Randy Orton tries hitting the RKO, gets reversed, gets knocked down. Rollins is going to go for another curb stop. I've never seen this happen. And I thought it was amazing when he did it. When Rollins went for that last curb stop, Randy Orton kicked him up. Like pushed him with his back up. And when he did that, turned around, grabbed him by his head, RKO.
For those of you who are wrestling enthusiasts, the RKO and the Diamond Cutter and the Twist of Fate are all variations of the same move, which is called an Ace Crusher. An Ace Cutter, sorry.
Ace Cutter. And stuff. So that's how that match ended. It was amazing.
Or a cutter, if you will.
It was amazing and done very beautifully. Beautifully executed RKO from out of nowhere, like always. And that's how that match ended. But it was a good match. It had
not to say that it wasn't riddled with interference because J&J were out there, their old tricks.
Yep, and they both got an RKO, which was beautiful.
They both did.
They both got an RKO. One got RKO'd from staying on his feet. One decided to do a dive, which when you're facing Randy Orton, doing a dive off the top rope, it's always just a gamble right there because he's just going to see you. And if he sees you, you're pretty much getting RKO'd because you cannot block that if you're in the air. There's nothing you can do at that point in time. You're pretty much done for. A lot of people, CM Punk knows it also. CM Punk has lost his match to Randy Orton at WrestleMania through that way.
All right, so J&J, for those who don't know, that's Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury. They are now road agents, but they were once upon a time wrestlers.
Both of them were champions.
Jamie
Noble was a cruiserweight champion. And Joey Mercury was a former 2 or 3-time tag team champion.
I believe it was 2.
2-time.
With Eminem.
Yes.
Mercury, Nitro, and Melina.
Yep. So both of them are champions, but they both suffer through some health issues.
Yes.
I don't know what Joey Mercury's health issue is. I know Jamie Noble has a bad back.
Jamie Noble.
He has a very bad back. Yes. I don't remember what Joey Mercury's are.
I don't think Joey Mercury got injured. I think it's a facial injury was the only thing at Armageddon.
Yeah, I remember that too because he tapped out the Benoit really, really quickly. That was funny.
We must not be thinking of the same match.
Which match? Who was he facing your match?
Armageddon. Fatal 4-way. Fatal 4-way for the WWE Tag Team titles. Eminem versus Dave Taylor and William Regal versus the Hardys versus London and Kendrick.
Alright, I'm thinking of another match then. Because I'm thinking of Chris Benoit and I forgot who he tagged with. But he tagged with someone to face off against Eminem, and Joey Mercury already had the face mask, and he put him in that crippler crossface, and he tapped out immediately.
Yeah, that's because he was protecting his face.
It was like nothing. It was like
That must have been like
Pull, tap.
January. That must have been like January.
Pull and tap. I knew it was before WrestleMania, though.
Because,
That's what I remember.
At Armageddon, he you know that seesaw?
It might have been No Way Out.
That seesaw move that they do?
Yeah, I'm thinking No Way Out.
Okay. All right.
thinking of
Well,
it. That's
they,
what
Hardy did a seesaw. Eminem's faces were like here. The ladder came up,
And
busted Mercury
boom,
right in the nose.
busted his face open.
Oh, and his eyes swelled shut, and there was blood everywhere.
Yes, but we are.
I digress. We're doing
getting off
WrestleMania.
topic. We're getting off topic here. That's a whole.
The show of all shows,
other
right here,
show.
people.
We're talking about WrestleMania 31 and stuff like that. So,
all right,
to say the least, WrestleMania
Matt,
started off very well.
Your ranking?
For Rollins, Orton, I would have to give it a 7.5.
See, I'd give that an 8.
You're giving that an 8.
Because it deserves a solid number. And it doesn't deserve 7. So I give it an 8.
Yeah. See, I've seen better matches from both men, and I feel like they could have done a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. I do give innovation props to Randy for that RKO reversal off the curb stomp. But as far as that goes and stuff like that, there was points where the match did get a little too weak for me. And stuff, and I think that's what really brought down its level.
Okay.
Was there and stuff like that, but it was very solid. It kept the momentum of WrestleMania going.
Okay.
It did its job, and it definitely could be considered a show stealer.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. So now we're getting on to the next match.
Well, before we had the next match, we had the impromptu concert.
Yeah, we don't care about that.
Oh, they said results. This is a result.
All right, well, results. Here you go. There was a concert.
Okay, so you had Skylar Grey and Kid Ink.
There was a concert.
You had Skylar Grey doing the...
That is all you need to know. There was a concert.
You had Skylar Grey do the theme song of
WrestleMania 31.
Oh, and by the way, he's started again. Yeah. Just to let all of you know, because he's done it on prior videos, and I'm letting you know because you're going to see the video of it. Dig it!
What are you talking about?
What?
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Moving on. There was a concert.
Like I said, Skylar Grey.
That's about all you need to say. There was a fun concert. You want to go right ahead.
I will if you let me talk.
All right.
Skylar Grey did the WrestleMania theme song. I don't even know what it's called.
I don't know the name.
And then a rapper called Kid Ink did a song, which I found dumb and pointless and not cool. And I'm trying to get this off, but I can't do it. So whatever.
Just use your hand to cover the symbol and the logo. Because, no one's going to know from health facts what it is. No one's going to know from health facts what the fuck it is. And shit. Alright, so.
Okay, hey!
There was a concert.
I swear. We keep suplex counts. I'm going to keep it swear count.
Okay, keep swear.
No. No, the goal is to not swear.
Okay, but keep it swear count anyway.
The goal is to not swear.
I don't know about Brock Lesnar's goal of suplexing, though. That's a different story.
Okay, you know what? We're not there yet. All right, the next match on the card, which kind of shocked us.
A little bit. I thought it was a little bit too early for this match.
Was the Divas tag team match for none titles. Oh, yeah.
That wasn't the next match. The next match was Sting versus Triple H.
Oh.
That match was after.
Oh, yeah, that was a cool thing. All right, whatever. All right, you know, whatever. I'm so excited. I'm sorry, I'm excited.
Okay,
all right. Anyway,
next match on the card,
next match was my boy.
I think it was a little too early in my opinion.
Was my boy Triple H versus his guy Sting.
Sting, yes. WCW versus WWE.
And we saw that to the fullest. So during the match, they're going back and forth and back and forth, back and forth. During the match, DX comes down to the ring.
Yes. X-Pac.
You have X-Pac and you have the NAO, New Age Outlaws.
New Age Outlaws. Come out
to the ring.
and stuff like that. Come out to the ring. They're helping.
And they're helping Triple H.
And
then, a couple seconds later, you have the NWO music hit.
And then
wait. Wait some more.
You gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for it.
And then out comes Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, Big Daddy Cool, Kevin Nash, and Hollywood himself, Hulk Hogan.
So, legitly, they pulled off a legit WWE versus WCW.
It was like our mouths were on the floor.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
It was so crazy.
Couldn't believe it when I saw it.
So cool.
I couldn't believe it when I heard the DX music hit. I couldn't believe it even more when I heard the NWO music hit.
I'm going to Matt. I'm like, wait, Matt, it's NWO, NWO.
I was speechless. I couldn't believe it. I was just speechless. I couldn't believe it. The band got back together for one night, and it was beautiful.
And then after that, you had Shawn Michaels come down.
Yes.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We are.
So, match starts, go back and forth. Sting throws a drop kick, which surprised
we couldn't believe he actually had the ability to actually pull off said drop kick.
Which throws everybody off and be like, you still got it, because
everyone
still got it.
You still got it.
Yep. They wrestle back and forth a little more. And then I didn't know that it was a no DQ match. I'm sure you didn't know that it was a no DQ match.
It wasn't booked as a no DQ match.
It wasn't advertised as a no DQ match either. But
I guess when you own the company, you
can do what you want. So you have Triple H getting his sledgehammer.
Yes. Triple H got the infamous sledgehammer.
Proceeds to go in with the sledgehammer.
Yep. In which case, then Hulk Hogan goes ahead, goes underneath the ring, grabs the infamous black baseball bat, and hands it over.
Actually, Scott Hall handed him the bat.
Was it Scott Hall?
Yeah.
Because Hulk Hogan. Okay, my apologies. It was Scott Hall.
It's all right. It's excitable.
It was excitable.
This match was a very exciting point in the card.
Yes.
Very exciting point in the card.
So.
And then.
It was kind of a standoff for a little bit.
And then Sting takes his bat, breaks the sledgehammer in half.
That was beautiful.
And then my guy, the Game, the King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin, he takes his little mini sledgehammer, the hammer part, and he bashes Sting in the head with it. 1, 2, 3. You can call it however you want to call it. You can call it however you want to call it. My guy won. I'm happy. I am 3. He's 2. I'm happy.
He's happy. All right.
The match itself, it built very well until the part where the NWO versus DX came out. They didn't need it.
That was awesome. It was awesome to watch. It was awesome to see.
They didn't need it.
It wasn't needed, though.
They didn't need it. It was very cool.
Because then it was WWE just trying to say how we beat out WCW in the Monday Night Wars.
Don't get me wrong. It was very cool to see DX come out and then to see NWO come out. And then I remind Matt, I'm like, Matt, Shawn Michaels was with both teams.
Yep, but he played with DX team.
And by the same token, Sean Waltman was a member of both teams too.
Yes, he was. And he was also playing with the DX team.
X-Pac.
For people who do not know.
6-Pac.
Also for people who do not know.
1, 2, 3 Kid.
Again, for people who do not know. And I think that's all his names.
Huh?
I think that's all his wrestling names.
6, Sex. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much all his names.
Yes.
And stuff. So, but pretty much it was 3 against 5. Or 3 against 4.
5, 4.
5-4. Okay, because you're adding Triple H and Sting. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't.
So 4-3 then.
Yeah, 4-3. That's what I was thinking. All right. So pretty much, the way the match ended, I didn't like it, because I like it when Triple H does, a pedigree win, not a sledgehammer win.
Nobody likes it when they take the coward's way out. I don't get that. If you're gonna be a good heel, sometimes you need to play the coward. If you're gonna be a good heel, and Triple H, let's face it,
granted,
he's a really good heel.
I absolutely agree that sometimes the heel needs to play the coward's way out. I do not agree with it though, on the show of all shows.
I'll tell you what.
On the grandest stage of them all, I don't agree with that.
I'll tell you what.
It needs to be a clean victory.
I'll tell you something I do agree with.
What?
They shook hands at the end of the match.
They did that. That was very good.
That was very classy.
Good sign, class, of respect right there for both men and stuff. Triple H extended the hand. Sting walked up to him and accepted that handshake.
Yep.
And stuff. And both men left with their dignity.
Yes. As far as that match is going rated, I would give that another 8. I would give that a solid 8.
I would give it a solid 8. It probably would have been a 10 out of 10 for me.
It would have been a 10 out of 10.
If it wasn't for DX versus NWO.
I agree. If you kept it in the ring.
If you would have kept it one-on-one, Sting versus Triple H.
Yep.
Like it was booked. It was shown, like it was advertised.
Yep.
It would have been 10 out of 10. It would have been the best match on the card.
All right. Now we get to the Divas.
Yes. Divas tag match.
For nothing.
AJ Lee and Paige versus the Divas champion Nikki Bella and her sister Brie Bella, the Bella twins. For nothing. No Divas title. No stipulation.
What are you doing?
To this day, and Ethan will vouch this when I say this.
What are you doing?
Ethan will vouch this when I say this.
What are you doing?
Can I
Look at me eyes. What are you doing?
Can I continue? You got that out? You good? You feel a little better?
Ooh,
feel a little better about yourself? All right, cool. All right, to this day, I will say this, and I will say this with pride. I don't even care. They can have a Divas tag match all they want, and so with that, it was a pretty good match, to say the least. I still think, though, that they should have had one Divas match in particular. That should have been AJ Lee versus Stephanie McMahon. That match needs to happen. It's legitimately the generation of now, the universe generation, or whatever you want to call the generation currently, versus the Attitude Era. Colliding. Like how it was when Rock fought Cena. Or how it was when Rock fought Hogan.
See, that already happened, though. They already passed.
But they never did that with Divas, though.
So they're probably not going to.
They should, though, because it's a fantasy match.
Okay,
it's a great match.
That, in my opinion, that was Steph Brie at SummerSlam.
But I don't think Brie is the right diva to put against Steph, though. I think
where I agree with you there,
I would make an argument for Paige, but I think AJ Lee is the number one.
Yeah. All right, so Divas tag team match started off slow. Typical thing. Had a little,
slow. Typical slow.
They wouldn't let AJ in the match for the first 5 to 7 minutes.
The Bellas were smart. I will give them this one. The Bellas were smart. They constantly kept Paige in, and they constantly kept AJ off the apron to make sure that Paige would not tag. However, once Paige was able to at least get some type of offense in and took Brie off her apron and kind of knocked Nikki on her ass out of the ring, that was good enough room for AJ to get back on that apron, in which case the tag was made and AJ kind of just stole the match entirely.
And then you have Paige shoving Brie into the steel steps,
which was
having
awesome.
them move.
Yeah, and you heard
very
it.
Cool.
You heard it too.
And then you have AJ locking in the octopus, which is known to wrestling fans. Her finishing move, the Black Widow.
Yes. In which case, she did to Nikki, who was the Divas champion, and she tapped. Now, I can't stress how much of how this wasn't for anything. Not even a stipulation of if we win, we get a shot at your title, or if you win, we leave, or something. It just wasn't for anything. It felt like it needed something of a push. So I'm agree with him. I'm gonna give it 5. 5 out of 10 because the match very slow build. It only got good really when AJ got into that match, and that's when the match excelled. No offense to Paige. Paige is a great wrestler and stuff, but
I love her look tonight.
I felt
her
that
look was amazing.
That once AJ got into that ring, once AJ got into that ring, that's when the match got very good, and that's when the match got much better. But unfortunately, that only lasted about a good 2 minutes maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as I stressed,
she might be injured. That's AJ. That's what they usually do when someone's injured. They have like limited go time.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw that, but I don't remember.
I don't think she's injured though.
Because she took a break, like a long break and stuff like that, to heal the nagging injuries.
Oh, speaking of injuries, I have to go back to the Sting Triple H match.
Mm-hmm.
During that match, you could see the most severe discoloration along his back quad.
His back left quad.
Wait, quad's up here. Thigh. Wait, hold on. Front of the thigh is front of the quadricep. And then back is the hamstring, right?
Yeah.
Along his back, hammy.
Yeah. Along his back hamstring, his left hamstring, if I'm not mistaken. You can see so much discoloration, and yet he didn't take a bad bump.
Nope.
He didn't take a hard hit.
Nope.
And yet Sting took a hard hit because Triple H threw him into the steel steps, and yet you saw like a little bruising on Sting's right shoulder, the back of his right shoulder. And yet, Triple H didn't take a bad bump, but yet there was just so much so much bruising just happening on his back left hamstring. And I to this day, I'm still trying to figure out how his hamstring looked that bad. It was not good. But to say the least, though, he did continue the match, so it looked like he wasn't injured.
Moving onward.
The next match was Cena versus Rusev, United States Championship.
In my opinion, the underrated match on the card.
The most underrated match of the card. Possibly one of the best matches of the entire night.
Usually the underrated matches are the best matches on the card.
So if you all know, this match has already been done before in Fastlane, where John Cena had challenged Rusev for the United States Championship. Cena passed out. He did not tap out. He passed out from Rusev's finishing maneuver.
The Accolade.
Thank you. I was trying to remember the name.
No problem.
So it was the rematch time, in which case both me and him both claimed that John Cena would come out victorious with the United States Championship.
Speaking of last match, we both said that AJ Lee and Paige would win.
So he's 5, I'm 4. So we went ahead and we both predicted John Cena would win the match. And we were right. John Cena is our new United States champion.
And that
Rusev has suffered his first loss.
That means that they're going ahead with the plan that we have laid out last episode. They're going to push the IC title or the US title very hard and very severely.
Yes.
Because you have your main baby faces being the IC and the US champ.
Yes, and then you have a heel as the world heavyweight champion.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. So, but we'll get to the world title later and stuff like that. That's a rant right there in itself. It was
a good match. John Cena pulled out
Cena
pulled out all the stops.
John Cena just continuously shocks me every WrestleMania he goes into.
So last year's WrestleMania,
things that I just can't fathom.
Last year's WrestleMania, he shocks us by actually wrestling.
Mat wrestling.
We're
talking
mat wrestling.
Holds. We're talking maneuvers. We're talking like everything.
Like headlocks, go behind, skate, catch and switch, top wrist locks,
arm
hip tosses,
hip tosses, arm locks and stuff. He was mat wrestling like it was no one's business. And then proud.
This year, he does a springboard.
He did a springboard.
Which if you don't know what that is, I will tell you what that is. The ring has ropes, right? It has 3 levels of ropes. He jumped on the second rope, springing into an attack on Rusev. Hence the springboard.
He did a springboard. I have never in my entire life of watching John Cena, and I've watched John Cena since he first started when he fought Kurt Angle.
Since 2002.
He has never done a springboard until tonight.
These are true facts. I've watched him since he started with Kurt Angle too, in 2002.
He has never done a springboard until tonight, and he did it fairly well. I mean, it is outside his element. He normally doesn't do springboards.
I think the ropes weren't tight enough.
That could be another factor.
But he weighs a lot.
And he's not a small guy by any means. And stuff like that. So,
all right. So New U.S. champion
John Cena. What's your rating on that match?
My rating on that match would have to be another 8 or an 8.5.
I'm giving it a 9.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to give that match a 9. That match. The thing about that match was it was good. It was solid. There was surprises. It was interesting. It had moments where it tried to like.
You know what? Honestly, no. No. I'm switching my number.
What is your number?
I'm going to give it a perfect rating. I'm going to give that a 10-10. And I'm going to ignore the technicality of things being a little off, but when are they?
Just want to state the fact that this man is very technical. The fact that he's ignoring that says something.
These are true facts. So you have John Cena and you have Daniel Bryan, who has the faces of the company right now.
Yes. And
you have them pushing their respective titles, which elevates the title to a whole nother level, yes, which is desperately needed, yes, especially since you have Brock Lesnar being not there, yeah, all the time.
He's not there all the time, even though he's signed a multi-year deal. He's still not a full timer. He's still just a part timer.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you say 9? I say 10.
I'm giving it a 9.
Next up, we had the introduction, the Class of the Hall of Fame 2015.
Yes.
The members of the Hall of Fame were
Rikishi.
Big Booty Daddy.
Yes. Man that wears a thong.
Back that ass up.
And if you ever saw the Hall of Fame, the Usos said that, is Dad wearing a thong? That was so funny. I'm like, he really was wearing a thong.
That was beautiful.
He really was wearing a thong. And Rikishi said, too, you boys are going to have a talk later. I didn't think you all were going to say that now. I started dying. I thought it was funny.
All right, so you have, the Big Quiche. You have Alundra Blaze.
Yes.
The woman who first started the wars.
Everyone that knows, she's the woman. Medusa, she goes by Medusa also. Mm-hmm. And so she's the one that jumped over to WCW and dropped the WWE Women's Championship in the trash.
Ploop.
In which case, that ignited the Monday Night Wars.
The first shot was fired.
Yes, in which case, also in the Hall of Fame, she actually picked up the title out of the trash.
Yes.
So she kind of redeemed herself by doing that. That was really good for her.
And then after Alundra Blaze, you had
the Bushwhackers. Yes.
I won't lick you, though.
Yeah, please don't. I'm not licking you. We're not the Bushwhackers.
No, we're not.
I'm not licking you.
G'day, mate! No.
that definitely. All right. Next up was the Crusher.
Connor.
The Crusher.
Connor.
It begins with M.
Mel.
Forgive us for not pronouncing his last name.
Whatever, he made us cry.
We
were bawling.
We really feel bad, but he gave himself the stage name, the Crusher, mm-hmm, which very typical stage name, but yeah, he can pull it off as an 8-year-old. And stuff like that. So
he received the Warrior Award,
which is the first time too they've ever done the Warrior Award,
which
is for the Ultimate Warrior. Before he passed away, he gave a beautiful speech at the Hall of Fame, to where everyone is a warrior inside.
And he said there should be a certain place in the Hall of Fame for people who embody the certain spirit and resourcefulness and fightingness of a warrior.
Of the Ultimate Warrior.
Of the Ultimate Warrior. So henceforth, when he died, he cemented that his name will be the award. So the Warrior Award. They're awarding it every year. This year was the inaugural one. It goes out to real life heroes who embody the same passion, hard work, and dedication as the Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
Now, Connor, he was diagnosed with pediatric cancer. I got it right. Thank you.
Pediatric brain cancer.
Pediatric brain cancer.
At the age of
3. He was diagnosed 3, 4?
He was diagnosed at the age of 4.
I heard 3. All right. Anyway.
Either way, he was diagnosed at a very early age.
Anyway, he had to live with this for a while,
for
and
many years.
Daniel Bryan first met him in 2012.
At the age of 4.
The age of 6.
The age of 6. Okay, yeah, no, he did meet him at the age of 6 and stuff. And he actually, Connor was there at WrestleMania 30 when Daniel Bryan won his triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
He wasn't predicted to last until WrestleMania 30.
Exactly.
He lasted. He passed saddeningly, and he was inducted by Daniel Bryan, who was fighting back tears, and his father.
His father accepted the award.
And then his other son came out and said, "I love you, Connor," which just melted all the hearts.
If you don't have a soul if you didn't tear up.
You don't have a soul if you didn't get the feels right there.
Yeah, I got the feels done hard.
Right
there was tears in my eyes.
There were tears in my eyes as well, man.
It was hard. Yeah. It was tough.
It was very difficult.
And stuff like that. But then, Connor was one, and then next up was.
And then you had Why don't you look at your phone?
Japanese dude. What's his name?
Fujiyama.
Fujiyama. Okay, there we go.
Fujiyama, who was a big name in Japan. He beat Ric Flair for the NWA World Title. Yeah. He won the IWGP title, which is the highest accolade you can achieve in Japan. And Ric Flair inducted him in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You had Triple H, hi guy, induct Arnold, the Governator.
The Terminator.
And by the way, going back to Triple H Sting match, the entrance for Triple H was the coolest thing that I've seen him do by far.
Yeah, he came out as a Terminator.
He came out.
It was so awesome.
He came out as the Skull Terminator. It was great.
It was so awesome.
It was great. They had like Stan Winston marionettes of the Terminator, and then you had Arnold saying, "Time to play the game," as only he can.
Macho Man.
Oh, that's
Randy Savage.
Yeah, that's later though.
Let's talk about that. The Macho Man Randy Savage was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. The person that accepted his award was his brother,
Leap Lanny Poffo, also known as the Genius, for those of you who remember such things.
Hardcore wrestling fans. You should know that.
Ooh, yeah!
Larry Zbyszko.
You know, I'm thinking something, Matthew. I gotta rearrange my thoughts, man. Dig it!
Thank you, Macho Man.
Ooh, yeah!
Okay, thank you, Macho Man. Larry Zbyszko was the other one.
The living legend, Larry Zbyszko.
Living legend. He was trained. Actually, he told a very great story, even though it was long as all hell. He told a very great story of how he was trained by possibly the greatest wrestler in the world, Bruno Sammartino.
Who was inducted 2 years ago.
Yes, he was inducted 2 years ago.
By Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, funny thing. Look at that. Goes around, comes around. And he told a great story about how, when he was in high school, how he dove through a whole bunch of bushes because he just happened to be driving by and he saw Bruno Sammartino and he was like, I gotta go over there and I gotta ask him to train me and stuff like that. And, Bruno said that, you're in high school, you stick to high school, you're in college, you get your degree, and he got his degree. And he told him, too, if you get your degree, I will train you. And he trained him, and Larry Zbyszko got booked on the independent circuit very well. And then Vince McMahon Sr., which is Vincent Kennedy McMahon's father, for those of you who don't know.
Stephanie's grandfather.
And stuff. Vince McMahon Sr. was like, you know what? Why don't we bring him up? And stuff. And this is around the time that Bruno's career was coming to an end. And what a better way to kind of get your career up and running by facing the living legend himself, Bruno Sammartino. Larry Zbyszko versus Bruno Sammartino.
Mm-hmm. Sold out Shea Stadium.
Sold out.
The old Shea Stadium.
Larry Zbyszko's name sold out among all the Eastern Seaboard and stuff. He sold out in Boston. He sold out Madison Square Garden.
He sold out Pennsylvania.
He sold out
New
Pittsburgh.
Hampshire. He sold out Rhode Island. He sold out.
He sold out a lot of places just by his name. And keep in mind that, nowadays it's not that big of an accomplishment. I mean, if you get that, you have made it big. But back in the day when there wasn't any internet, when there wasn't much TV.
There was no YouTube.
There was no emails, no text messages.
No telephones. No cell phones.
And stuff like that. So, if you sold out an arena, that was rare. That was hard, too.
And you had no syndication on TV. That is not
easy.
You had no syndication. You had no, TV networks like
that means
set up
that
now.
People had to hear about your name, and they had to spread that word.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to spread that word far.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry Zbyszko did that, and that is why he's called Living Legend. He's also known as the voice of WCW.
Yes, because after he was done with WWE.
After he was done with his wrestling career and his career was winding down and stuff like that, he went to commentating, but he did come to the ring every now and then at WCW and stuff like that. He took on NWO a couple times, put them in their places and stuff like that when they were running wild in WCW and stuff. But yeah, so Larry Zbyszko, and the last inductee in the 2015 WWE Hall of Fame, and he was awarded his own entrance, the man himself, Big Daddy Cool.
Man who started the Wolfpack.
His also goes by Diesel, Kevin Nash, which came back in the NWO angle on Sting versus Triple H.
Yep.
Which was awesome. And stuff. And so that was your Hall of Fame class.
Yes.
It was your Hall of Fame class.
And then
we're gonna move on.
And then
to
after the Hall of Fame class,
we're moving on to a promo.
We have a promo.
So Stephanie and Triple H were in the ring. They were talking. They set a new attendance record at WrestleMania. I don't remember the number. And
75, 78, whatever.
It's something up there. It's in the 70,000.
72,000 plus.
Yes.
Put it that way.
So they set a brand new attendance record in a brand new stadium. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good for them.
And they run down the people. So who should come down to the ring but
the People's Champion.
The People's Champion, right?
The Rock.
The Rock.
The great
comes
one.
down to the ring. And after The Rock comes down the ring, he says that you've been talking smack about the people talking smack about whatever, and you don't own the people.
And you don't own The Rock.
And then,
that's bold words.
And then Stephanie McMahon gets in his face.
Yeah, she actually slapped him too.
And she's like, without the McMahons, there would be no Rock. And then she proceeds to smack him as hard as she can across the face.
Yes. In which case, then she said, get out of the ring. Go. Get out of here. Because we own you. So, The Rock proceeded to kind of play like he was actually defeated. Then The Rock kind of looked over to his right.
Well, all this time, Stephanie McMahon still talking smack about his movies, about his ex-wife, about their kids,
yes.
and whatever. And I don't know what exactly set him off, but
so The Rock goes ahead and he gets out the ring. He's about to turn around. Then he looks to his right, and he sees somebody. And he goes over to the right side, and there, for anyone that watches UFC out there, is Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Yes, the UFC hard-hitting woman was in the front row on the right side. She was wearing a over 9,000 shirt for all those anime fans out there. That was good, funny. That was good.